First of all, I just wanna say that after this game with PSG and after the news from yesterday, Barcelona doesn't seem to be heading in the right direction right now. You'll say, come on man, here you go again. We're top of the table, we lost just one game, it's not the end of the world, we're fine. Maybe we are, I know. 4 or 5 years ago, we probably would have prayed for this kind of start to the season. But in the evolution of a team, there are always signs. And right now, for Barcelona, those signs are just cracks in the wall. The first leak was the game with PSG. That crack needs to be fixed fast before the wall collapses even more. The first big piece of news after that game wasn't a good one. Lamine Yamal got injured again. After missing about 3 weeks because of the national team, he came back, decided the league game, was Barcelona's best player against PSG, and now he's out again, at least for another 2 or 3 weeks. If it were up to De La Fuente, he'd have taken him and played him 3 games in 3 days. Thing is, it's not looking good. We've seen this movie before with 2 other extremely important players, Pedri and Ansu Fati. Pedri only got back to normal after almost 2 years, alternating between fit and injured spells. Ansu Fati kept repeating the same pattern until he just faded away. No matter how optimistic you are as a person, that fear about Yamal is there. And yeah, if that PSG game had ended 3-1 or 4-1 for Barca, no one would have anything to complain about. If someone watched that game and came to the conclusion that PSG completely dominated Barcelona, then either they need a night check or a brain one, or they just don't understand football beyond the scoreline. Because yes, Barcelona had their share of problems too. Joan Garcia, Rafinha and Fermin have all been key players at the start of the season, almost always in the first 11. But back to the injuries. Here's Barcelona's current list. Ter Stegen, Joan Garcia, Balde just came back but only played a few minutes. I can't guarantee he won't go down again within the next month. Gavi, Fermin Lopez, Rafinha and now Yamal. That leaves us for now with the following starting lineup, assuming nobody else get injured. Szczęsny in goal, Koundé on the right, Eric Garcia or Araujo with Cubarsí as center backs, Balde or Gerard Martin on the left, Pedri and De Jong in front of the defense, Rooney, Olmo and Rashford behind the striker, Lewandowski or Ferran up front. The question is, do you really trust this team can handle anything until the others come back? Me? Honestly, I don't. But let's take it step by step. Szczęsny, he's fine. He's not in his prime anymore, but he's far from the worst possible option. He was the keeper with whom Barcelona went unbeaten for like 4 months. So let's say this isn't the most worrying position. Now Koundé, and here's where the first issue pops up. Don't get me wrong, I'm not suddenly calling him a bad player. In fact, this applies to several others in the team too. I don't know what's happening, but his form is dropping. From the outside it looks mental. Statistically, on the attacking side, he's okay. 1 goal and 1 assist in 9 matches, same average as last season, 0.22. But defensively he's a shadow of himself. Even against PSG he fell over next to Mayulu or Mbaye in a sprint that wasn't even about speed. He just collapsed next to a physically weaker player. Moving on to the center backs, ironically, the one who's been used the most is Cubarsí, and to me it's the same story with him. He always looks like he's playing with discomfort, like he's got a leaking pipe at home and can't stop worrying about it. Funny thing is, his ratings have actually gone up, and his defensive output isn't really the problem. Yeah, he makes mistakes, every player does, but what's missing from him lately is the joy of playing. I used to love watching him not only for his defensive work, but also for those pinpoint passes straight to the midfielders or the striker. Haven't seen those in a while. As for his partner, honestly, I don't even know who to talk about, or who Flick sees as the main starter. If we're talking form, it should have been Araujo before the PSG game. Eric Garcia has been solid as well, both against PSG and in the start of the season. But it's Eric Garcia. We've seen this movie before. You can't fully rely on him. Out of nowhere, he'll score an own goal and kick you out of the Champions League. As for Christensen, I think he's not as fast as Flick would want him to be. Also, their relationship doesn't seem greater, after the club apparently gave him the green light to leave in the summer. Everyone wanted Inigo to continue, but he left and Christensen was what remained, even though he wasn't the first choice. On the left side, Balde or Gerard Martin. Balde is coming off an injury and he's always been a streaky player. He's never strung together 3 or 4 good games in a row. He needs time to build rhythm, and when he finally does, he gets gets injured again. Gerard Martin on the other hand keeps looking more promising, but he still has visible gaps in his game. So again, you don't really know what to do here. Now the pivots, tough discussion. The starters are and should be Pedri and De Jong. The backups are Casado and Bernal, the kind of players you use against weaker teams. De Jong, when he's on form, he's fantastic. The problem also is consistency. He'll play a match rated 8 or 9, then follow it with a 5. Pedri is the only one right now that you simply can't criticize. I've seen some people say he holds onto the ball too long instead of releasing it on the counter. I disagree. I've seen plenty of situations where he released it perfectly, but the wings froze and passed it back. Barcelona without Pedri has no control in midfield. Now we move up to Rooney, since we're talking about the current available lineup. Is he bad? No. He's brave, he wants to prove himself, he tries to dribble, he tries to shoot, but he's still far from Yamal's level. You could see that in his last game, he's just not as sharp. And this has nothing to do with effort, it's just about his limits. As for Olmo, I've already talked about him a lot in the last match reaction. Olmo came to the club after filling Pedri's spot for Spain when Pedri got injured. Barcelona signed him because Pedri was supposed to take a more defensive role, and they wanted an alternative or maybe even an upgrade over Fermin. Now Olmo's not even being called up for Spain anymore, or he's just a sub. Then he's clearly behind Fermin, who's also not in top form himself. The drop in form is obvious. Rashford, and I'll repeat this, he's been solid offensively. Even if he didn't score every time, he's contributed. His number one problem? He doesn't defend properly. And no matter how good Rashford is up front, it's hard for him to create more goals than the defense concedes because of lack of support. Now for the strikers, again, it's complicated. It seems Ferran is the starter for now. Can you say he doesn't deserve it? Not really. We have no other option right now. I've seen comments from people roasting me whenever I criticize Lewandowski. What can I say? Maybe you're not seeing the full picture. Yeah, he's the best finisher in the squad. Nobody matches his quality. But that's not enough. And if you don't see that, maybe you just love him too much. I think he just can't physically keep up like he used to. And that's probably why Flick keeps benching him. Ferran's a poacher. What's holding him back is composure, clarity. I don't think there's been a single game this season where he didn't miss at least one huge chance. And now we get back to the question from the beginning. Do I trust that this team can at least keep good results going until winter when most players get back? No, I don't. Because Barcelona is most of the time a morale-based team. Poor form leads to bad results. Those are the cracks. And bad results will only deepen the confidence problem. It might not look like it, but the upcoming period is crucial. The Sevilla match is extremely important, because right after that there's a break for international games. If Barcelona wins this game, the players can head to their national teams a bit more relaxed, in a positive mindset. And when they come back, if everything's fine, a few injured players might also return. But if Barca sleeps, especially if they lose the top spot in La Liga and the squad splits up on a negative note, not seeing each other for 2 weeks, when they reunite, it's gonna be 30 different energies clashing in a situation nobody wants. And if, God forbid, someone else gets injured during the international break, then even the Olympiacos match could get ugly, let alone El Clasico. As for Yamal's injury, I've got mixed feelings. It worries me because it came so soon after the previous one, but at the same time, I'm a bit relieved that he won't be overworked with the national team again. What do you guys think about the team's situation right now? Do you also feel like Barcelona's underperforming, or do you think that PSG loss was just a one-off and Flick will fix things faster this time thanks to last year's experience? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I always love seeing early opinions that end up being right later on. Last year someone said that Barca would win the title even though they were a few points behind Real, and in the end that's exactly what happened. Also, maybe there are some other details I've missed and you've noticed. I can't wait to discuss them with you guys. Otherwise, don't forget to subscribe to help the channel grow. We're just getting started and every bit of support really helps. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.